Well, a little bit different video today. As you can see, hanging out with the dog. Man, the weather is just, it sucks. It's cold, it's windy, it's rainy. I was really hoping to maybe get outside and maybe get out fishing or something, but it is just brutal out there today. But I was just sitting here, kind of going through some stuff, getting gear kind of organized and stuff, and I was just kind of thinking, man, about what the weight of this weekend is with Easter, and yesterday was Good Friday, and we all know what that's about, and just how much love Jesus had for us when he died for us on that cross. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel kind of heavy with it today. I know I'm grateful that I came to to follow Jesus and to follow God and the things that he's done in my life, with the things that I went through, the battles I faced. I mean, I wasn't perfect through all of it, but I kept coming back and I kept coming back and I kept coming back. And I think that's all he really needs us to do, is to just, he knows we're going to fail. He knows we're not perfect. He knows we're going to mess things up. But when we humble ourselves and recognize that and still turn to him and still seek him, that's what truly matters to him. And that's what pulls us through. There's always the things that tempt us. Like, there's always a way out of it, and Jesus gives us that. We just gotta seek him. So anyway, guys, I didn't really have a lot on my mind today other than that. I'm a little bummed we're not outdoors, but it's still a very, very important weekend for people of faith, and like I said, I was kind of feeling the weight of it today and thought I'd share. But I do have some exciting news. We're going to be moving here in a couple weeks. I'm looking forward to that. Get some bigger room, more room, bigger house, bigger yard, place to, set some targets up and practice archery, and a couple trees, maybe even looking at maybe getting a stand and just hanging it up in the yard. Got a pretty good sized deck, even practicing up there, elevated shots and stuff. I'm looking forward to that. Tons of space, like I said. Maybe set up my own little area, and so that way I can do more videos like this if we're not able to get outside. But really, really looking forward to that, and having our own space and getting out of this duplex. Turkey season's coming up, and my weekend of turkey hunt's the same weekend we're moving, but we're still gonna make it happen. I'm gonna go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I got my cousin's gonna let me hunt at his place. Was hoping to maybe get the camera and stuff and go scout that this week, but between work and the weather, it just didn't line up. So hopefully we can bring you along for that when that comes through. Got another place that is going to hopefully pay off as a good backup if things fall through. And there's always the public land. I'm not real confident in shooting a turkey out there, but It does get us outside, so there is that. And then my birthday is actually my opening day of turkey is my birthday, so that's coming up. And then hopefully the weather starts to turn here, and we can get out on the boat and start chasing fish, and bring the dog and watch the sun come up and get on some fish. I do really want to try and get on a good bluegill bite, because the lake I fish, there is some tank bluegill in, and I'd like to have a bluegill fry. Nobody in my house really likes fish other than me. Well, my youngest, she'll eat it, but not all the time. But my wife can't stand it, so I'm kind of on my own for eating fish, but I would like to do it. Still got to get out and do some scouting. There's another piece of property I want to go look at that, unless I can get permission to access, it's kind of landlocked. So fingers crossed on that I can get permission and walk the field edge and get back to this piece that's kind of landlocked, and it looks promising on the maps, but it's hard to tell until you get out there. I've driven by it a few times. It looks really good from the road. Definitely looks like deer would be there. If I were a deer, I'd want to be there, actually. So that's kind of on my mind, and honestly, I'd like to do that sooner than later in case I need a third plan for turkey. So what else? I don't know, guys. I'm new at all this. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out and which way I want this channel to go. I just I want you guys to know, like, when you get through what you're going through, whether that's addiction or a breakup or a divorce or financial trouble, I mean, for me, turning to God and putting my trust in Him, and just trying to do my best to follow along with His guidance and getting into the Word. When you get through it, man, there is a peace on the other side that is just unreal. And when you get to that, for me, like, when I'm out on the lake or in the woods, like, I am really, really, really grateful for the things that I went through that shaped me and molded me. And, I wouldn't be where I'm at had I not gone through those things. And people will say, oh, you just had to learn things the hard way, and it's maybe that's true. There's a lot of stuff I learned the hard way, but I learned, and they made me who I am today. I think, I heard a guy commented actually on one of my videos. It's like the only way to make it easier is to make it harder. And you can reference that to working out and trying to get in shape, but I think that applies to life a lot too. Sometimes you got to go through things the hard way, so that way they become easy. There's situations that I find myself in that, years ago I would have reacted a certain way or done things different, and, they wouldn't have ended well. And now it's, I have the ability to remain calm and peaceful, and, I set boundaries, and, everything's just kind of changed for me. the relationship with my wife and my kids. I'm still not perfect at it, but go back 5 years and compare it to today, and it's night and day different. But again, those were things that we went through as a family and learned a lot of lessons the hard way, and it's really been amazing to see how much all of us as a family have changed and grown. So guys, there's always there's always a way. There's always hope, and even on your most hopeless days, and I've been there, trust me. Stay strong and remember there is peace closer than you think. Had I known what I know now, I could have avoided a lot of stuff that I went through by taking time and getting outside and doing something healthy for myself. Walking, hunting, fishing, just taking the dog and going and walking around, looking for deer sign, looking for anything, just being outside, the sunrise, the sunset. There's so many things that you can do without spending a ton of money, and finding your place of peace, where you can reflect. Big thing for me when I'm out there is gratitude. When I'm out there, I get kind of like a gratitude overload on me. I'm just grateful for being out there, for one, grateful for where I came from, but grateful that I have a way to react different, to clear my mind, to reflect and ground myself and get back to the basics of things ain't that bad, and sometimes that's all it takes. I know for me, like my head would start racing with one thought, and then it would compound into more and more and more and more. And by the time I was, lashing out and going crazy, the initial problem wasn't even the problem anymore. It was all the other things that I compounded on top of it. So if you catch yourself going down that rabbit hole, pause and take a second and just, look outside, or, take a couple deep breaths and just, list a couple things that you can be grateful for. Get yourself grounded again, and keep pressing on. But anyway, guys, I feel like I'm rambling. Like I said, I didn't really have a whole lot to say or to do today. I just figured I'd get the camera out and hit record and see what's happening. I am excited though. I got a couple action cameras. I got more batteries for my main camera, some mounts to play with, chest mount, head mount, clamps for the boat or the woods, one of the two. What else did we do? Oh, I'm waiting on hopefully a adapter cable so I can use my wireless mics with my action camera. Got the big mic on this camera, so hopefully I can play this all out where my audio is not terrible. Other than that, guys, man, I am running out of stuff to talk about. Let's see. My youngest is gonna have a birthday this June. We're gonna try and get her shooting archery. We went out to our local bow shop here and picked out a bow for her that I think will be good. Talked to them, kind of got their honest opinion about I was worried about spending a ton of money and her either one not liking it or two outgrowing it and having to spend a ton of money again. They recommended us a bow. It's a Mission Menace, so made by Matthews. Solid bow. I got some extra parts. Got a rest, got a sight. So that'll save some money on the bow there, but it's good stuff. Hate to say it, but she's probably gonna have a better bow than her dad by the time this is all done. But again, learned that the hard way too. But I'm excited to get her. She wants to learn how to shoot, and she wants to hunt. The problem is they don't carry or didn't have a left-handed bow for her in stock, so they had to order it. So once that comes in, hopefully we'll get over there, get her set up, get her rigged up, get her shooting, and before you know it, I'll have my hunting partner in the woods. If not, I'll have a left-handed Mission Menace for sale, because nobody else is left-handed here. That's the other one. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys all take time to reflect on what this weekend means for everybody with Easter, and the sacrifice that he made for us. And I pray that whatever you guys are going through, that you guys find the strength to keep pushing. Remember, guys, peace is closer than you think. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully, it's not sitting in my bedroom. Later, guys.